This is the Kia Stonic M-Hybrid. And yes, that is all of it. It's classified as a subcompact crossover SUV or CUV. Basically, it's a small car that sits a little higher, and it faces very stiff competition from other cars like the Kona, Yaris, Eclipse Cross, we've got the Arona from Seat, Mazda's CX-30, and the list goes on. But among all the cars that I mentioned, this actually happens to be the most affordable. Now, this is actually a very, very important point which you must remember throughout the entire review. Plus, this is a mild hybrid. Before I go on, I think I owe you at least a basic explanation of what a mild hybrid is. Mild hybrids drive on an internal combustion engine and a battery that is charged by recovering energy whilst driving to deliver greater efficiency by seamlessly using and recuperating the electric power. So there's an additional battery that allows your engine to be turned off whenever the vehicle is coasting, braking, or stopped. But unlike a regular hybrid system, the mild hybrid can't and won't power the car. That still has to be done by the engine. The battery is there just to provide additional help. Kind of like the fat guy on your futsal squad. Given the make and the model, and contrary to what you may actually think, I think this is actually a nice looking car. Yes, I do. The flares on the arches, the roof rails, these 16-inch wheels, they all kind of give this car a very athletic feel. Something like your PE teacher, you know? She's not going to break any world records, but she's got a very athletic physique, which is pleasant to look at. This is the 48-volt mild hybrid battery that I was talking about, right next to your tire repair kit. Anyway, the boot is small because the car is small, and the rear cabin is small because the car is small. Now remember, subcompact. And you get some vents over here, which I'm not exactly sure what it's for. I guess it's to vent the bomb in the boot. There's no center armrest, but you get one USB port. Now up in front, you get this nice touchscreen display with lots of plastic, together with this multi-function leather steering wheel. Okay, let me sum this up for you. For less than 100k, you shouldn't be complaining. You get a whole array of features, some of which don't come in the EX model, so check out the article for the complete list. Just a couple of things I want to add. This car comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which can be connected without a wire. Woohoo! But it doesn't come with wireless charging. So, you're still going to want to plug the wires in. And just like all other cars with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, it can get a little bit unstable. And after about 10 to about maybe 12 minutes, you will punch this screen. So, my advice, just go for the cable. Time to drive this. There's a little bit of road and wind noise, but then again, it's not like you're gonna trade in an S-Class and change to this, so I think totally acceptable. And the ride is actually very smooth. I think this whole mini SUV thing is kind of working. Yeah. And speaking of smooth, this car actually comes with a 7-speed dual clutch box for less than 100k. Fantastico. Okay, let me walk you through this. The hybrid starter system fires up the engine quickly and quietly. That's true. The electric motor adds power to the engine for a zingy pickup. Yep, though I may argue on the zingy. While driving at constant speed, the combustion engine will partially charge the battery. So whole idea of a mild hybrid. When off the throttle, the car can continue to sail depending on the battery's charge level. When you throttle off, the rev drops to 0, engine is not running, and you save money. When slowing down, braking energy is converted to electricity and stored in the battery. That's kind of how that 48-volt battery gets charged. And last but not least, at or near a standstill, the engine shuts off to save fuel, which basically is the start-stop system that you get on just about all of the new cars. So if you think about it, although I know this is a sales brochure, it does really do what it says it will do. The car comes with a 1-litre 3-cylinder turbocharged engine, producing 120 brake horsepower and 200 Newton meters of torque, which comes from both the engine as well as the mild hybrid system. Remember, zingy pickup. But then again, it's a mild hybrid system, so don't expect too much of help from it. It's like taking multivitamin tablets and expecting to shave 2 minutes off your 2.4 kilometer time. But then again, 120 brake horsepower, 200 on torque is actually more than enough to move this 1.3 ton baby. And speaking of power, there are 3 different driving modes, which are Eco, Normal and Sport. And naturally, most of the sailing is going to happen on the Eco mode. Put it this way, the Eco mode feels like a 1-litre car. The Sports mode feels like a 1-litre turbocharged car. And the Normal mode feels normal. Again, a couple of things I just want to highlight. The switching on and off of the engine is actually really very seamless, and I'm actually quite surprised because don't forget, this is a 3-cylinder engine. I was actually expecting to feel a little bit of vibration, whenever the engine fires up. But if I'm not paying attention to the tacho or the sailboat, right, you'd never know when the engine is actually switching on and off, which is great. Just got your driving license? Sure, you'd be very happy with one of these. But it's like a friends with benefits kind of arrangement. You'd be very happy at first, but after some time, you just want more. And most importantly, the whole point of all of this is the fuel consumption. Now, the manufacturer claims 4.7 litres per 100 kilometers, which is approximately 1,000 kilometers on a single tank, which actually equates to 35 times from Jurong to Tampines and 6 times around Singapore. I'm just wondering what on earth job requires you to travel 6 times around Singapore. Maybe your job is to count the number of lampposts along the expressways. Nice. Anyway, I spent a grand total of 11 hours and 33 minutes in this car, which is more than enough. And I've driven a total of 333 kilometers, and I got 7 liters per 100 kilometers. But I must admit, I did a lot of idling on this car, which by right you shouldn't do. So I think if you minus away all of that, it would be much closer to the manufacturer's claim. I'd imagine the guy who drives this is the kind of guy who would ask you if you want kids on the first date. He knows exactly what he wants and he's not afraid or embarrassed to make sure he gets it. If you are considering a car in this class, all other factors aside, the fuel consumption is going to play a very big part in your final decision. And if you think about it, there's absolutely no way the non-hybrid cars in this class, or even the regular Kia Stonic, which you can get, by the way, for about $5,000 cheaper, is going to give you better fuel consumption than this. And when you drive this with all the stops, starts, and sailboats, the mild hybrid system feels like it's working extra hard to prove its worth, to make sure it gets noticed, to use every single one of its 48 volts just so that you can end up saving money. And speaking of saving money, don't forget, this is one of the most reputable and affordable cars in its class. Seems like a good deal to me. That's it from me, Jackie. And of course, as always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next episode.